Well, it's a tale of lost treasure spanning from Nazi Germany at the end of World War II to a small North Texas town. That journey has turned into a movie for next month's South by Southwest Festival. Dan Godwin takes a look now in this week's Fox Forward.
And it's great to welcome Cassie Hay, a native of Denison, Texas, and director of the new documentary film, The Liberators, sort of a real-life Indiana Jones story about the recovery of some European art treasures that seemed like they could be lost forever. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me.
So, at the end of World War II, April 1945, someone walks away with 13 very old, very valuable pieces of religious art from the town of Quedlinburg, Germany, south of Berlin. Now, these items had been stashed away in a cave for supposed safekeeping. How much were these items worth?
Today, they'd be valued at around $350 million.
Whoa, a sizable sum. And what kinds of items are we talking about?
There were a couple of jewel-encrusted books, some religious artifacts, and an Egyptian comb that was jewel-encrusted also, that was a gift to the first kind of king of Germany in about the 9th century.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the whereabouts of the loot remains a mystery until the late 1980s. A museum curator in Germany contacts a German graduate student studying in Washington, D.C., says, hey, maybe you could look into this, right? And then right around that time, one of the missing items appears for sale in the American art market?
That's correct. You know, it was kind of a nice coincidence that right around the time this German graduate student was poking around the National Archives, the family who had this treasure started trying to quietly sell it through different art dealers in New York.
So the trail leads to, amazingly, the town of Whitewright, Texas, north of Dallas, near the Oklahoma border, mostly in Grayson County, part of it in Fannin County. And this family, it turns out, has the stolen treasures.
Correct, and they operated a hardware store on the main street of Whitewright, Texas, so it's pretty wild.
So it turns out that the theft was committed back in 1945 by a soldier who part of this family. He died, though, in 1980. The family, though, still had the stuff. Right.
So he had, it turned out, wrapped these things up in brown paper and mailed them home to his mom. And so when he died, his brother and sister inherited his furnishings and then started trying to figure out what they were worth.
So once this graduate student from Germany tracks down the family, that things, though, then start to take some surprising twists and turns. We don't want to give away exactly how the story ends, but it's your first feature film or feature-length documentary as a director. Kind of nice to be showcased at South by Southwest.
Oh, it's a huge honor. I mean, I'm originally from Denison, Texas, but I went to film school in New York, and to be able to bring this story back home, and we were selected out of thousands of entries to be one of 10 films in the documentary competition. So it's a huge honor.
All right, Cassie Hay, the movie is The Liberators. Sounds very interesting indeed. Thank you so much for the chat.
Thank you very much.
For more information about the film, we've got a link at our website. Just go to fox4news.com.